20% of $500 is what? Is 100. So you don't need to miss out. Just get that. You see, some of you just go, I have $500. Then let me go in the market with all the $500. No. I said what? I said no. Just 20% is enough. Just what? 20% is enough. So you just need 20% of that amount of money. Then you proceed with your business. So if I have $500 and I'm going with, that is going to be 100. So now I'm going to work within the region of what? Of 100 USDT here. So over here, now, first, my margin amount is 100. Now, my leverage is 10x. That is going to give me 10 times 100. 10 times 100 is how much? Give me the answer in the chat. 10 times 100 is how much? Give me the answer in the chat. 10 times 100 is how much? 10 times 100. Someone saying 10,000. 10,000. 1,000. Very good. Very good. Maybe it's a mistake. So 1,000. So 1,000, right? So it simply means over here, my first buying amount here. My first buying amount here should be 1,000 USDT. Should be what? 1,000 USDT. Should be what? 1,000 USDT. So over here, now, how do I manage to get the 1,000 USD? Because 8 AGLD is equivalent to 5.4672. 5.4672 USDT. That is 8 AGLD. So if I want to get this very clear, if I want to know how much I'll also get for 1,000 USDT, just take my calculator and do this. 8 divided by 5 point what? 4 what? 672. 4672. That is going to give me 1.4632. Now let me multiply this by my 1,000 USDT. That is going to give me 1,463.72. So even if the decimal wouldn't do it, 1,464 approximately. So let's look at it. 1,464 AGLD. 1,464. Very good. So 64, very good. Will give us 1,000 USDT as pronounced. So over here now we have the 1,000 USDT here, right? We have the what? 1,000 USDT here. Are you following? So 8 AGLD is equivalent to 5.4672, which is, by calculation, if we want to get 1,000 USDT, it's going to be 8 AGLD divided by 5.4672 times the 1,000 USDT. That is going to give us 1,464 AGLD. So the most important thing is we need the amount of tokens to work things out here. That is the reason why we will do that. So anytime we come here, it's the token divided by the equivalent USDT multiplied by the total amount of first buying amount to be entered. That is what is going to give you the coins. If it's clear, give me one in the chat. If it's clear, give me one in the chat. If it's clear, give me one in the chat.
Can you
If
go
it's
over
clear,
again, please?
give me one in the chat for me to know if it's clear. If it's clear, give me one in the chat. If it's clear, all right.
Please, can you repeat? Please, can you repeat?
All right, don't worry. Just type your whatever your problem is in the chat box. The meeting is being recorded, please. Okay. Now, what we are saying is this. What we are saying is this. Over here, first, we want to make our entries. Okay. Since we want to make entries here, we want to use our total capital is $500. We are using 20% of that of $500. 20% of $500, that is giving us 100, right? So with this 100 USDT, multiply by our leverage, is going to give us our first buy-in amount. It's going to give us our first buy-in amount. That is going to give us 1,000. Okay, 1,000. Now, with this 1,000 USDT, over here, they said the minimum amount to be used is, they've given us as what? 8. 8 AGLD is the minimum, and 8 AGLD is equivalent to 5. 8 AGLD is equivalent to 5.4672. 46 what? 72. 4672, which is 8 AGLD. So if we want, how much can we get for 1,000 USDT as well? So it's just simple. Take your calculator. 8 divided by 5.4672. 5.4672 multiply by the 1,000. Where from the 1,000? The 1,000 is the first buying amount. That is our leverage times our 100 USDT, which happens to be the first buy amount or the margin amount we want to enter. So over here, I'm going to get this value here. This is what we are getting. So we are getting this value. That is 1464 by approximation. Okay, 1464. 1,464. We approximated this, the 3, because of this. So 1,464. So over here, when we come, we now enter here. 1,464 will give us 1,000 USDT, right? Will give us 1,000 USDT. Is that not it? 1,000 USDT. Now, the most important thing is for you to be able to calculate this first. Forget about anything. The most important thing is calculate this first. Now, I've been telling you that in a futures market, because the signals run very fast, even what you've analyzed can change. So if you want to make the profit, first, know how to calculate for this. Set up the trade, activate the trade, and get back to set your what do we call your margin configuration or your margin calls. If it's clear, give me one in the chat for me to know. If it's clear, give me one in the chat for me to know. If it's clear, give me one in the chat for me to know if it's clear. If it's clear, give me one in the chat for me to know. Those saying go over again, I hope it's clear now. Those saying go over again, I hope it's clear now. Respond for me to know. Is it clear now? All right. All right. All right, so let's proceed. Let's proceed. Now you have everything here. So mind you, we have 400 USDT remaining. 400 USDT remaining. Now with this 400 USDT, you may decide either you want to still use all the $400 in to trade this particular asset, or you want to just divide it, or what you want to do. So over here, maybe you can decide to use 200 to open margin calls, which simply means in total you are using 300 USDT. Do you get it? Out of your total 500 USDT. Unless otherwise, you decide, okay, I'm using all the 500 USDT to trade on this particular asset. There is nothing wrong in doing that. Now, what helps you to be sustainable in the futures market is your reserves. Your reserve. So if you have more money that it can be able to buy more of the margins, always you will be saving the odds in the market. Your reserve is very, very important. That is the reason why trading on multiple trades or having multiple trades are not really, really important. They're not necessarily important. You get it. But then just reserve that amount of money and observe the trade, especially when you know the trade, the strength of the trade. Yes. Now you come here, your margin call limit. Decide maybe you want to open 10 margin calls. So now, when it comes to margin calls, no one can decide for you on the number of margin calls to use. It is your capital that can decide. And that's the reason I told you earlier that the coin you trade is important. The coin you trade is what is important. Because liquidation appears real. Listen, liquidation appears real. Liquidation does not respect your mother, respect your father, respect your siblings, respect you. Either you are broke, either you are not broke. Liquidation does not respect anything.
It doesn't respect whether you borrow the money to trade. It's going.
Right? That is very good. So you should understand that liquidation does not respect anything. It doesn't care about you. So just make sure that you are making the right decision. Eh? I guess that Naomi is in the house. Is she the one talking? Eh?
Last week I chopped some I'm hot.
Interesting. So I was saying try catch up, but I'm falling. All right. Sorry for that. Anyway, so guys, that is what we are talking about here. So just make sure that you don't follow people's decision to make things worse in your case. Don't follow other people's decision. Follow what works for you. Follow what can save you, not what can save other people. Look, let me tell you something. Someone told me something. He said, every advice is good. Every advice is good. But that advice is good to the is good not to the advisor or to the recipient, but the person giving the advice himself. eh? And I was like, eh. So said every advice is good. But advice may not be too good as compared to the person giving the advice himself. At the end of the day, you wear your shoes, you know how fit or how loose your shoes may be. So going in for someone's advice, the person may give the advice from the comfort of his energy. Eh? From the comfort of what? His energy. That's the reason why I've told you several times. Be careful. Oh, this is the best working strategy. This is the best this is the best that. Oh no. Fuck up. Go and sit somewhere. Think about yourself. Do the right thing. Make the right decision. Are you learning? Are you learning? Fallon, give me one in the chat. Give me one in the chat. If the message is home, give me one in the chat. Hmm? There is no best advice. than advise that signals is being sold. Listen, listen, there is no best advice than signals is being sold. Signals is sold, you see, you set up a trade, you see signals is sold. And that one, you don't even know what is called margin calls. You don't even know what is called this. You don't even know what is called liquidation. That's the reason I'm telling you that the coin you trade is very, very important. The coin you trade is very, very what important. All right. So now quickly, let's wrap up here. Why waste my time? Now, what's happening? Okay. So your margin calls, 5 margin calls, you get back. You take profits, 1%. Now over here on futures, 1%, okay, 1% take profits here means 10% ROI, or 10% rise of the assets. So if you're making 1%, that is 10%. That is what it means. So over here, you change your buying callback 0.1, take profit callback, buying callback 0.1, and then 0.1. Now after that, you click on advanced settings, you check. We have what you call cycle and then also one shot. Cycle and then one shot. Cycle and then what? And then one shot. Now, it may depend. If you want to put your asset on cycle, there is no problem. But make sure that that asset is not someone's signal given to you. If you are trading someone's, for instance, you pick a signal on the platform, that is one word you want to trade. The analyst never told you put it on cycle. You decide to place your signal on cycle. Hmm? Hmm. You sweat the plasma alone. Before you put a signal on cycle, I advise make sure you've analyzed it yourself, especially do not try placing meme coins on cycle. Do not try placing meme coins on what on cycle. Like I've told you earlier, if you want to place trade on cycle, it should be some of these utility tokens. They are good. And I'm not afraid of those coins. I don't care how long they've been in the market. They're always my good friends on long-term investments and both long-term leverage and then short-term leverage. Hmm? Do you get it? So come here, turn it off from cycle to one shot trade, click on save. Save the trade, activate, and go your way. Now, after activating, go back, check out the trade, and get to your margin configuration. Get your margin configuration and do the wonders. Let the wonders work. So you have $200 remaining. $200. Open margin calls. Now, how do you open the margin calls? This is very simple. How do you open the margin calls? Let me quickly do that, and let's check out on some other important things before we leave here. Let's check out on some other important things before we leave here. So if you want to open margin calls, now first think about your total margin call, which is five margin calls. Your capital is your remaining capital is $200. Now over here we have this year, that is the level up 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. So you can either decide to go by this. Mind you, if you are going by this, your actual money is $200, and it wouldn't be able to afford that amount, right? So think of how we can set this up nicely. Our capital is $200. Our margin call limit is what is 5. Our margin call limit is what is 5. So we can decide to fix in values here to make sure that this can tally with what we have. And how do we do that? First, I've told you, you come here, you choose to decide your total balance is 200. Your margin call limit is what is 5. So 200 divided by 5. Let's check it out. 200 divided by 5 will give us how much? 200. You divide it by the total margin call limit, which is 200 divided by what? By 5. That will give us how much? That will give us how much? Let me see in the chat.
40.
40. Very good. So, very good. All right. So 40. Now you have $40. So it simply means at each drop, you decide to do it, buy $40. So the last time I made it simple for you to get it clear that with $40, your actual your first buying amount happens to be 1,000, right? 1,000. So if I want to know the number of times I want to buy this asset, that is going to be 40 divided by 1,000. 40 divided by what? By 1,000. So over here, if I want to get the number of times to buy this asset, it's going to be 40. 40 is the amount that I'll be buying at each drop. That is $40. So 40 divided by 1,000 will give me the number of times I want to buy here. The number of times I want to buy here in a very simple manner. Do you get it? So let's look at it. 40 divided by 1,000. 0.04. Now, multiply 0.04 by 1,000 and see if you won't get 40. 0.04 times 1,000. So over here, 0.04 simply means that at each drop, you want to buy 0.04 of your first buying amount, which is $1,000. 0.04 of your first buying amount, which is $1,000, which is giving you $40 at each drop. This is simple. So you come here, 0.04, 0.04, 0.04, then 0.04. Now come to the call drop. The call drop, yes. Now over here, I've taught you how to work out on the call drop in a simple manner without any complications. So on the call drops, from the first call to the last call, we said this is how we calculate for the call drop. That is your total margin call limit divided by the total call drop. So since my margin call drop, the total margin call limit is 5, divided by the number of drops. So maybe the signal that has been indicated asks you to do this. So let's check it out to see. Maybe a signal. Let's go on the signal platform. So let's check it out on the signal platform to see if you see any signal with a drop. Okay. So okay, so we have the one word here. All right, so let me see. Okay. All right, so let's see. There is no drop. Is there any drop? There is. Okay, so this has a drop of what? So check out this one. A drop of 5. A drop of what? 5. Now, what does it mean? This simply means working out on this particular asset. Please, are you following? Working out on this particular asset, from the first to the last call, the analyst is expecting the price to have a total drop of 5%. So it simply means if you add this one plus this plus this plus this plus this, you should get 5%. It shouldn't go below what? 5%. So if I want to do this, that's what we are saying. If you want to do this, just come here. Just come here. Your total call drop, which is 5 divided by 5, that is giving you 1. So over here, you can decide. No matter how you do, the most important thing is make sure everything is up to 5% and not less than 5%. So if I can decide to come here, my first drop should be 0.5, second drop should be 1% or 0.5 so that it can buy very fast, 0.5. Then next one should be 1, which is making 2% in all. Then this place should be 2. Then this place should be 1. Let's add it up to see if it's not up to 5%. Let's add it up to see if it's not up to 1%. Let's add it up to see if it's not up to 1%. Now let's do the calculation together. 0.5 plus 0.5 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1. How much are you going to get? 0.5 plus 0.5 is 0. Is what? Is 1. Plus 1 is 2. Plus 2 is 4. Plus 1, 5. If you understand it, give me 1 in the chat. If you understand it, give me 1 in the chat. If you understand it, give me 1 in the chat. If you understand that, give me 1 in the chat. Very good. Very good. All right. Now, the next thing is that after doing this, click on confirm. Now you have everything set. You are good to go. Come here. I guess let me quickly do this. So 1464. All right. Let me go back. No. Okay. So all right. Now come here. We have this 3 mode here. Now listen. You are here to make profit. Do not let anyone tell you, and this is working, this is not working, this is working, this is not working, this is working, this is not working. Now come here. Go to sub-in mode real-time settlements. If you decide to put your strategy on whole warehouse mode, there is nothing wrong with that. But don't let anyone tell you whole warehouse mode is working and sub-in mode real-time is not working. My friend, it is not true. However you want to use it is going to work. Now, why sub-in mode real-time settlement? Because you want to earn from the sub-sales, and the sub-sales works. It works for everyone. So you come here peacefully, you set it up to sub-in mode real-time settlement. Are you with me? If you understand, give me 1 in the chat for me to know. If you understand what I'm saying, give me 1 in the chat for me to know. If you understand, give me 1 in the chat for me to know. If you're with me, if you understood what I'm saying, give me 1 in the chat. Very good. Very good. Very good. Good. Now, after doing that, click on it nicely and then save your trade and go your way. The next thing is from either you are going to use cross margin or isolated margin. Now, I may say this for a reason. Cross margin is good, isolated margin is good, but on a purpose. You get it? Now, for the sake of one thing, because mostly when liquidation happens on the cross margin, most people end up to the face of losing their all their money in the funds. So it's two things. Either you push your funds from the futures to the to funding wallets, from futures to what, to funding wallets, or it's either you push the funds from futures to what, to funding wallets. To avoid total what liquidation. Or anytime you want to trade, set it up to isolated margin. On isolated margin, now listen, margin calls work on isolated margin, but on cross margin, the advanced money you have becomes more effective and dominant on the asset as compared to what isolated margin. But then isolated margin is good to save you from losing all your funds. So open your trade, set it up to what isolated margin. With the isolated margin, even if you are to liquidate, if your account is 500, if your account balance is $500, if you are to be liquidated and it's open up only $200 trade, it's the $200 that will go, not all the $500. But with the cross margin, it will liquidate everything. It will do what? It will liquidate everything. So before you set up the trade, listen, before you set up the trade, once you get the signals, the first thing that you have to check it out is in your exchange. Go in your exchange and check out to know either everything is okay or not. Go in your exchange to do what? To check out to know either everything is okay or not. So over here, so when immediately you get the signals, the first thing that you have to do, if it's Binance, go on Binance. Very good. Now you click on what? You click on futures. After clicking on futures, come here. You will see this. Come here. You will see this. Where is it? Okay. You see here. You're going to see this here. Cross. First, search for the name of the asset. Don't assume because cross is here, you're just come to change to cross. It will change this app to cross and not on the other trade. So come here, click on this. After clicking on it, you're going to see this here. You're going to see the trade here. Search for the trade you want. Search for the trade you are looking for to trade first. So you come here. If it is let me see, HMSTR, one of my good friends. Hamster, one of my good friends. Both in good times and in bad times, I met them. So over here, you come here, you see, because this trader, I mostly trade it on isolated, automatically it appears on isolated. So if you've never traded the coin before, just come and change it. Click on this arrow. Click on this arrow to search for the name of the coin. After getting the name of the coin, so for instance, maybe you want to trade on ton. Okay, you want to do a trade on ton. So this is ton. Click on it. You see, it automatically it appears on what? It appears on isolated because I do trade it in this exchange without on isolated. So if you want to change it to cross to, you click on cross, then we change it to what? To cross. If it is isolated, you click on isolate cross, you change it to isolated. If you understand, give me one in the chat before you proceed to activate the trade. If not, after activating the trade, you can't change it. If you understand, give me one in the chat for me to know. If you understand what I'm saying, give me one in the chat. If you understand, give me one in the chat for me to know. We are not explaining anything. We said just come in your exchange, change it to cross or isolated. Which part don't you understand here? We said just go into your exchange, change your trade to either cross or isolated. We said go in your exchange. As you get the asset, come in your exchange, get here, click on futures. After clicking on futures, we have it here. We have the name of the asset and then the margin mode, which is either isolated or cross. So whatever way you want to use, you click on this, you click on the arrow, you search for the name of the asset. So I illustrated maybe HMSTR. So you click on it, then you come here. You see this thing here, isolated. Just click on what? Just click on isolated. So after clicking on isolated, it may either be cross or If you want to change it from cross to isolated, you click on it. It's simple as ABC. All right. So which part don't you understand? Which part don't you understand now? All right. Are you good to go? Are we 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 good to go? Very good. Very good. Very good. Now, now, the next thing is about your decision to either hedge a trade. It's about your decision to either do what? Hedge a trade. And when do you hedge a trade? Now listen, the act of opening one trade at the same time is a bet. And that is very, very risky. Listen to me. The act of opening one trade at the same time, you open long and short. Don't let anyone tell you to do that. You open a trade on long, on short at the same time. Listen, I'm not saying you can't open a trade, but then what I'm saying is that some of you, let's assume you want to trade on turn. You'll be like, this thing, I don't know how the market will go. So I'm setting up the trade. I want to open both long and short at the same time. Mm-mm. My brother, don't do that. Eh? When you do that, it simply means you don't know what you are doing. You are just trying your luck. In trading, it's not a try and lucky work. It's a good, informed decision job that you are doing. You are making an informed decision. So don't come here with the aid or with the aim of, okay, let me try and see. Since turn is here, let me trade on turn. Okay, I'll open one on long, I'll open one on short. If you understand what I'm saying, give me one in the chat. If you understand, give me one in the chat. If you understand, give me one in the chat. Yay! If you understand, give me one in the chat. Some of you, I don't know, you just rush there, you change everything, you open long, you open short. My brother is waiting. I'm waiting. You see, the next thing you see, you chop liquidation on both two sides. You are gambling. Someone is saying for safety. You are just gambling. And the next thing you see, you chop liquidation on both two sides. Because you think one side should be better, then you jump into the other side to win. Hey, you are gambling, and before you realize, you've chopped liquidation on all the two sides of the trade. Yes. Yes. So you need to shine your eyes, open your eyes before you fall victim or prey of the markets, because the market will never favor you. And the market, as I've been saying all the time, the market is neither your enemy nor your friend. The market is neither your enemy nor your friend. So whatever you are doing, you need to be careful. The market don't know you much. If you think you know the market doesn't know you. They don't know you. My brother, the market don't know you. So you think the market, me, I'll be trading. I want to do this magic. Okay, no problem. Go and do the magic. When the market shouts at you, just a blink, you go home with empty account. Matthew, you are victim. All right, anyway, let's proceed. Let's proceed. So, um, let's look at it. Let's look at it. Now, after that, now we said if you want to hedge a trade, if you want to hedge a trade, if you want to hedge a trade, it's very simple. Come here. If you want to hedge a trade, it's very simple. Come here. So click on the trade. I have one long-term trade that has been hanging here for decades. Now, if you want to hedge your trade, just come here. So over here, you can see you have this particular trade here. You have this particular trade here. You have this trade here. How many of you have observed this, that I told you this trade is on long-term purpose? It's on one of my long-term trades on futures. That is torn. Okay. And I shared with you, you saw everything here. As you can see, this is my take profits. This is my what? My take profits. I know what turn can do, and I'm waiting for turn. This is my take profits. Right? Very good. Now, if you want to hedge this particular trade, as you can see here, we have this create short strategy. Create short what? Strategy. Create short strategy. So now, at a point in time, the question is, at what time do we hedge trade? At what point in time do we hedge trade? Now, I'll talk about that briefly. So, after clicking on create a short strategy, you click on it nicely. Now, you click on trade settings, or you click on activate. Activating simply means you are using the same strategy, the same amount on the opposite side of the trade to execute this one too. Or you click on trade settings, then you have everything as you want it to what you want it to be. As you want it to be. Hope it's clear. In the case of you wanting to close the trade, you come here, you click on close. Now, let's look at the case of stop loss. So you click here. Now, after clicking here, you can see this trade is presently doing negative 11%. That is negative 10%. That is the result you are seeing there. So the opposite of that particular trade would be the result that I will get as well. And I know it can do better than that. So over here, the case of stop loss and its laga things. So when you come to here, you see when we talk of stop loss simply means did I stop sharing? Oh, let me see. Okay, so all right. So the case of stop loss, can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? Yes. All right. Okay. So let's look at the case of stop loss. Then I guess I have to get back so that I answer your questions. So if you want to set up a stop loss, you just come here. We have what you call trigger price. Trigger price. Just enter your stop loss amount there. Since you want to enter a stop loss, just come here. Enter your stop loss amount there. Yeah. Just come here, enter your stop loss amount. Stop loss is a particular price at which you want your trade to be triggered for loss, not for profit. Listen, it's a particular price at which you want your trade to be triggered for loss. Hey, listen. So sometimes some of you think stop loss is the best thing in trading. Look, let me tell you, stop loss is not the best. And I think, okay, not here. I've explained that to set of traders. Stop loss is not the best. You get it? Stop loss is also another way to prevent you from making profits. That is, if you understand concept of trading, you would understand the language the aspects, the angle I'm coming from. Stop loss is not the best because stop loss prevents you from making the profits you deserve to make. Yes. So stop loss is an opportunity for you to, close your trade at loss. That is all. Yeah. Anyway, let me get back here and answer your questions. Let me get back here and answer your questions. Then we bring the session to an end. Okay. So let me see. Yes, that is 10x. Yes, I'm sure it's 10x. Okay, so please can you use the future settings to trade on short strategy? Yes, of course, you can. You can do that. You can do that. You can do that. So, but this process is long and time must have passed. Please let us know how to do it short to meantime. I don't get your question. Which one are you talking about? So please, do you trade this future with MACD indicator? So of course, you can trade the futures with MACD indicators as well. Yeah, you can do that. But personally, I don't do that though. Let me see. Yeah, it's gambling. So I know if you have any question, please can write your answer there. Let's see. Who keeps calling me? So the 1,000 USD is your margin multiplied by your leverage. Exactly. Mm, okay. All right. I guess I have a meeting. Mm, okay, so all right. Let me start answering your questions quickly. I guess I have to leave. So how does the coin glass help us in trading? I missed last week. All right, so I guess it will be scheduled to another session on especially for the coin glass. Yeah, it helps you to analyze the market, know using the RSI, know the momentum, and other not just analyzing the market. The coin glass also helps you to know market momentum, and also it helps you to also know the seasons you find yourself and different aspects. So I guess I may take time, maybe this evening. No, this evening we have business presentation. So let's see, tomorrow I will do that. Then please, can I use 10% leverage with a $50 capital? It depends on what you want to do. I don't think, no, I don't think you can do that. That is if you want to stock the asset on a long-term leverage, then that is fine. If you want to stock the assets on a long-term purpose, then that is fine. If you put stop loss, if the coin changes direction, can it give the profits? No. When the asset changes to, when we talk of the stop loss is that I'm setting up this particular trade, I'm setting up this particular price. When the price drops to this level, my trade should be closed. So it is closing at loss, not in profit. It is closing at loss, not in profit. So sir, this your SL start age is confusing. Please explain more. I don't get the start age you are talking about. How will I learn on 50? How will I earn on $50? Yeah, so on $50, go for 20% as your first buying amount. So let me see. Okay, $50, 20%. Okay, as your FBA. Use 5x to 10x. 5x to 10x, in between 5x to 10x, it's okay. So if 20% of 50, maybe how much? if not, I'm sure $10. So if you are using 10x, that is 10 times 10. If you are using 5x2, that is 5 times 10, making 50. Then you go there, you use the $40 to open margin calls. At least open 5 margin calls, or at most is 10 margin calls, and go your way. All right. Explain what is whole warehouse mode and others. And what time do we hedge trade? So when we talk of whole warehouse mode, now with whole warehouse mode, it buy assets from the first call to the fourth call, and it utilizes it for you to buy them in whole and sells them in whole for you to make your profits. With the sub-in mode real time settlement, it buy assets from the fifth call to infinity, and it earns from the sub cells for the trader, or you earn from the sub cells as it buys and sell, you earn from it. And also we have the sub-in mode. The sub-in mode, it also does buy from the fifth to infinity, but with that, it distributes your sub cells to the market for it to draw your average price closer to the current market price. Okay, so at what time do we hedge the trade? Now, at what time do you hedge your trade? Now, you hedge a trade at the time, maybe one, you've analyzed the market to realize the asset has changed trend. The asset has changed what? Trend. When the asset change trend, you can decide to hedge the trade. When the assets change trend, you can decide to hedge the trade. All right. First, that is by analyzing it. Can you set manual trade without stop loss on Binance? Yes, of course. So noted, because MACD delays so much to buy FBA. Thanks. Yes, of course, it's true. Listen, when you are using indicator setups, you should know that over here, I guess my screen is still visible. Is my screen still visible? Now, when you are using indicator setup, there is one common thing that you need to know. Now, so assuming if you are using indicator, you should know this. We have what we call trigger price. Come here, and you scroll down, trigger price, and then also the indicators. Now, why is this called trigger price? Because it is buying at the exact trigger amount, which is we over here. It simply means you are using current price. Current what? Current price. You are buying the asset at CMP, that is current market price. That is the reason why it's triggered and buys exactly as you set up the trade. But immediately you use RSI, KDJ, MACD, it's just like you are using preset price. It's based on the condition you've given. So before it can trigger to buy, your conditions must be met before it do what? It buy. Hope it's clear. So how does margin call stop liquidation? How do they work? Then does the leverage affect the call drop? Say if I have a call drop of 2% and my leverage is 10x, does it make the drop 20 or still 2x? No, it's still 2x, 2%. So say, I mean, this process is very long. The time of trade waits for nobody. How can we make it brief to meet up allocated time? Are you talking about the trade settings or which one? I'm still not getting. Are you talking about the trade settings? So questions are more, but let me put at reserves for the next meeting. All right. Please, are you talking about trade settings? Are you saying the trade settings, the time for trade settings are too long? It isn't too long at all. Trade settings shouldn't take you up to 2 or 3 minutes. Yeah. Trade settings shouldn't take you up to 2 or 3. How does margin calls drop stop liquidation? How does margin call drop stop liquidation? How do they work? So actually, why do you open margin calls? You open margin calls to buy the dip, or you open margin calls to buy from the new average or average prices. And naturally, every average price creates a new liquidation price. That is the fact. And it's a secret or it's a fact you may either find difficult to understand. Every average price creates a new what? A new average price. Sorry, a new liquidation price. So that is how margin calls may works in reducing liquidation. Yes, and then what is hedging? Okay, so when you talk of hedging, that is trading the same assets on opposite directions. Trading the same asset on what? On opposite directions. Trading the same assets on opposite directions. That is the meaning of what? Of hedging. So if let's assume if you trade Solana on long and you also trade it on short, you've hedged the trade. If you trade it on long and on short, you've done what? You've hedged the trade. That is it. All right. So I guess time is fast spent. I have a meeting. You can see someone was calling me and I have a meeting. So I would like we end here. You'll meet at the platform. So those who are asking for the signal group, those asking for the signal group, mm, okay. Well, let me see. So those asking for the signal group. Okay. Uh, okay. So someone is also asking, I need the revolution um group. Okay. All right. So let me see. So this is a revolution. This is a revolution group as well. All right. So I guess we will end here. If God permits, we will still meet again. If God permits, we will still meet again. So tomorrow, those asking about the coin glass, I will schedule a session for us to learn more on that tomorrow, if God permits. Okay. So I'll schedule a session for us to learn more on that, if God permits. If I want to trade futures, please can this strategy be used on $100 accounts? Yes, of course, it can. It can do. It can do. It can do. So, all right. So, guys, I think we will end here. If God permits, we'll still meet on the next session. Let's prepare this evening's business presentation, and Coach Mopiwa will lead that presentation with massive. So let's all try to invite our prospects to join when it's time. Let your prospects know that there is going to be a business presentation to explain about Royal Q and everything about crypto trading. So they should get prepared to join us. So guys, we will end here. If God permits, we will still meet again in the next session. And always the platform is open. You can feel free to ask your questions at the time. Okay, so I wish you all the best for your trading journey and have a good day. All right. Okay, so I've dropped it. Check. I've sent two links there. The first one, check the first one and you will see it. Check the first one and you will see it. Tracy, check the first one and you see it. I just dropped that in the very good. Okay, so we will end here. We shall meet in the next session. We will end here. We shall meet in the next session. Thank you all for your time and have a good day. All right. Love you all. Bye bye bye.
Bye.
Okay,
Bye,
bye.
bye. Good job. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Thank you very much, Brother Emmanuel. Thank you. It was so clear. God bless you. Bye.